What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Let's Be Real. It's been damn.
It's been 1 year. This is the second year we've done this. The Phillies are going to the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome in, John L. How you doing? But man, what a game last night. I was a nervous wreck for like 8 innings. Let's be real there. 8 innings, I was a nervous wreck. I called you. I'm like, whew.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
I was nervous. You were nervous. We were hanging on by every pitch, every score. Oh my God, man! And then Rojas, the rookie, comes in clutch in the
Yep.
10th, bro. In the 10th inning, comes in clutch, brings in. He brings in the Sosa. Trying to remember the name here because I'm so excited. He brings in Sosa for the winning run, win the game, they clinch the wild card spot. How are we feeling today, Rob?
I felt fantastic.
Oh man, me too, brother. Me too.
And
Oh
now
my God.
I'll say this too is the fact that now the postseason has to run through us. We'll start kick
Oh,
out
oh, you
the
gotta
wild
come through
card.
Philly. And let me tell you something. If you looked at last year, that ain't an easy place to play for your opposing team. That is
No.
not an easy place to play because that crowd gets rowdy. And when they get rowdy, they get like I feel like last year when they got loud and rowdy the way they did,
Oh
there was a
yeah.
seismic there was like a seismic shift. Literally a seismic shift. The whole ground shook from
Yeah.
Philly to Gloucester. Shook.
Yeah, which is crazy beyond belief. But then
And
again, I'm not really surprised that
honestly, I'm not surprised that we made the playoffs either. We were slated to anyway, but it's still exciting to me because our team made the playoffs 2 years in a row. Last time that happened, we made the playoffs
it was in 2010,
consistently
2011.
like that was 2010, 2011. From 2007 to 2011.
So yeah.
So we haven't made the playoffs consistently since then because the last 10, 11 years, we've been constantly missing the playoffs. So, and also a cool feat happened last night with the clinch game. We clinched a home. We clinched at home for the first time since the last time we made the playoffs, 2011, or since the last time we made the playoffs prior to last year, shall I say, 2011. That was
And
awesome. To
it
do it
really
in front
is
of the home,
too.
dude. To do it in front of the home fans, though. Oh my
Right?
God,
It's
amazing.
much bittersweet than that. Plus, you guys thinking too, you're gonna have some guys that are experienced.
Bittersweet. What? There's nothing bitter about it. It's all sweet, brother. It's
You know
like
what?
candy at this point. It's like candy. Yum, freaking yum, bro.
But the also when you really look at it is the fact that yeah, you're gonna have to see guys that are experienced the postseason for the first time with Garrett Stubbs, Matt Strom, Kimbrel's
Wait,
another
Garrett
guy.
Stubbs is in the playoffs?
I I don't
He
think
was there last year, wasn't he?
I don't know. I can't
He was
remember.
there last year. I swear. Because he backed up. Yeah, he backed up JT last year. So he made the
Yeah,
playoffs last year. He got an NL ring too, brother. He got an NL ring last year.
I completely forgot.
Well, he wasn't out there for the playoffs. It was just the only one that was platooning was Marsh and Bierland the entire time. JT was every day in the playoffs.
And now we're gonna definitely probably see a platoon of Rojas and Marsh.
Bro. We get to subtract offense with defense. Let's go. Whoo! You
Well,
know? And I mean,
Rojas.
I'm not saying Sosa's bad either, or Rojas is bad.
He's,
Rojas, I think he can get some good timely hitting going. The
oh
guy's only
yeah.
a rookie, so I ain't gonna complain about the guy.
No, you really shouldn't.
Like he's a rookie. I mean, if he balls out in the playoffs out of his mind out of nowhere, hell yeah.
I mean,
Because
because think about it, we
I
just
know that kid has heart. I know that kid has heart because you see it every single game, and he's been up here. Rojas has heart.
and then you get guys like Ryan Kirkland who made his
Kirkring,
debut.
oh my God, I want to talk about that guy too. He comes up, his first game, closes the door. Wins that team the game
Yeah.
as a closer. Like,
Well,
dude.
he was more the eighth inning guy. Pretty much Alvarado pretty much closed the door to the ninth.
Okay, Alvarado did. Oh, I thought
The
Kirk
way
pitched ninth.
he
The
was
way they were
still,
reacting to him.
but he was still
But
helpful sweeping the pathetic Mets in the 4-game series.
yeah, so I think his first real test is using him in the playoffs. That's what I think his first real test is.
I think he's going to have Reese's spot because Reese is, unless he pulls, there's somehow a miracle supposed to happen.
Apparently today that leading into the playoffs, his recovery is doing well, but well means. But here's the thing though, Bryce has been exponentially better at first than Hoskins ever was.
Yeah.
Now I get you lose a power bat, but at first base you got better defensively putting Bryce there.
Yeah,
dude, Rhys Hoskins cannot defend at first. Let's be honest, he can't. He can hit. He can hit for power. I honestly think if Hoskins were to come back, let him DH. Don't let him back at first because look what happened last year. He sold in the World Series and we lost it. So I would have him DH. I would have him DH if you're gonna bring him back. But
well, yeah. So right now we have potentially today and tomorrow we can crack 90. So if we win the next 1, 2, 3, next 5 games, we'll be at 93.
Bro, the fact that we kind of improved on the last year, I know we were still a wild card team, but I did see improvement because last year, look at where we were when we made the playoffs, that 3rd seed. We are now that 1st seed right now.
Yeah, and right now, as it stands, I mean, for those who are not really paying attention to the wild card standings, right now, I mean, Chicago, they're just
completely, and I'm gonna talk about that right now. Chicago completely shit the bed last night.
Yeah, and would allow Milwaukee to.
You were up 6-0, and you gave up 7 to end that game. And Seiya, bro, you have to catch that ball, bro.
You really
have to catch that. That was a bad ball. That was a bad play for Seiya.
So overall, the other teams that are still in play for the 2nd to 3rd wild card, besides Arizona and Chicago, is Miami, Cincinnati, San Diego, and San Francisco. So right now, the other teams that are eliminated, or the obvious teams, is the Mets, Colorado, Washington, and St. Louis. St. Louis, I wanted to say something a little bit too. And look, as much as I like with the town over there, boy, we broke them. We broke the Cardinals.
Yeah, we broke them. They should have been better than what they were, but we broke them. But here's a little stat or not here like a little stat, but like more of a fact. The last time that we haven't seen the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Cardinals at all in one postseason was 1992.
Yeah.
Or actually, I think it was 92 or 93, one of those years. But it was in the early 90s, nonetheless. That was the last time we haven't seen the Red Sox, Yankees, or the Cardinals.
And
at all in one postseason.
And it's like, and we talked about this
before. What happened in those years, too? We made the World Series. Oh, my God, it's a repeat.
Yep.
We're repeating.
No, like I said, I had no head. And Keith is asking us, no, absolutely not. I mean, yes, when he went down, but he was a
he's part of the team nonetheless. I know we didn't have any contributions to it, but the guy was hurt.
Like,
he was a moral support. Yeah, moral support. And the thing is, him not being able to play is not his fault.
It was just hurt. A freak accident.
It was a freak accident. He tried to play a ball. It was literally the first game of the season. He tried to play a ball.
The first game,
he tweaked his leg.
Tears his ACL.
Yeah, he tweaked it. He tweaked his arm because he tried to be a little bit too flashy in my eyes. But whatever, every player tries to be flashy. It's not his fault still. He tweaked his leg, but it's not his fault that for him to celebrate, like, oh, you shouldn't celebrate the team because he got hurt. No, you're part of the team still. You
Yeah, I mean,
showing your support for your teammates is being a good teammate still. You
yeah,
saying,
and
"Oh, you got this, man," every at bat to every player, or "Hey, you got this, man," to the pitcher. That's being a teammate. That's still being a part of a team. That's being a team player, regardless of you playing or not. So Reese Hoskins should not get flack for celebrating that win last night. He should be
what
celebrating with this team.
what's also is crazy about that is the fact that also, by the way, for those who didn't pay attention, our starting rotation is in the top 10 in Major League Baseball in terms of team ERA. Even though, yeah, it's flat out at 4. But yeah, I mean, Blue Jays at 3.73, Milwaukee 3.7. So yeah, there's not great, but they're decent. So we're in the top 10 in terms of our starting rotation in terms of the team ERA.
Now, I want to talk about Nola for a minute. First half of the season, first quarter of the season, pretty much, he wasn't great. It wasn't pretty. He was giving up a lot of home runs, but later, like start of like August into September, he was starting to figure it out. He was really starting to figure it out later months. Wasn't really giving up a lot. Wasn't really doing a lot. Like, yeah, he was giving up maybe one home run, but he would clean it up and like, I'm gonna pitch lights out. This game, the game before this one, or was it this game?
I think
Last night.
he went 62 thirds last night.
Oh yeah. So, but he
Giving up
went 6 2/3, and he was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. It was like what, 8 strikeouts, 4 hits, I think, or was it
I
8 hits,
think
4 strikeouts, or whatever?
let me
One of those. I know it was 8 and 4, but I don't know like what the stat line really was. I knew I saw it was like 8 something, 4 something when I saw it last night.
Noel went 6 2/3, scattered 4 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks,
Yeah,
and one of
yeah.
that run was a homer.
So he's gonna give up a homer. He's not an ace anymore. Let's be honest. I think he still needs to be on the team, but not an ace anymore like he was back in like 2017, 2018. He's not that guy. It's that's why the lineup, the pitching lineup is Wheeler 1, Nola 2. Because that's what we're gonna get with Nola. He's gonna give up a home runner. Go like a home runner like 2 or whatever. But I have no issues with this pitching lineup going into the playoffs. I don't. I really don't. The only issue that I have going into the playoffs is the bullpen. Because it was a bit shoddy
Especially
for the majority of the season. It's been shoddy. You know, Kimbrel, he had that good start, that whole 10 games without like allowing a run, and he
you also
started
got
to
to think too.
bottom
These
out.
guys were gassed.
Huh?
Like
Those
most of these
guys
guys,
were gassed, but yeah, and those guys were gassed because Skipper kept throwing them out there. He kept throwing them out there, and it's not really his fault because starting pitchers kept
they
giving up
can't go.
runs. You
It's not
can't.
just that they can't even go more than 5 innings because and we've seen at times where this bullpen when it's not shoddy is when you know your starting rotation actually can go past 5 innings. But the problem is when you have guys like Noel who have a hard time getting through 5 when he's getting knocked around. Same with Taiwan Walker who somehow gets gassed easy.
You got a lot of these guys that got gassed easy. That's why the bullpen had been shoddy. Like Taiwan Walker, he fell off a cliff. I think in like May, he fell off a cliff a little bit.
Yeah,
He started to
and he
get
had
together by
guys,
June, July, August. Like he was getting it together, but by like April and May, he fell off a cliff.
yeah, it
And he was getting
yeah,
gassed easily. Nola,
and
he was getting gassed easily. But here's the thing. I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt because this whole new pitch clock thing, because they're constantly working that arm faster than they
well,
usually.
it's not just that. I mean, you got to look at last year too. They were not accustomed to pitching extra going into the postseason, so they were not accustomed to pitching in the
No,
postseason.
yeah, exactly that too. That too. And Taiwan Walker,
I think
he was good last year. but again, the team went over 100 games, and that he was on went over 100 games, and they
Fell flat on their
and
face.
then playoff time comes around, he's gassed, and he was still kind of feeling it at that point. Nola
But,
made the playoffs. He dominated in the playoffs. He worked that arm to death up
and
into the World Series, and you could see he was getting gassed by the World Series because he gave up 5 runs to make it 5-0. That was one of the games we had ended up losing,
which is kind of
and it was the
crazy when you really look
deciding
at this rotation. We have 3 guys at double-digit wins in this rotation.
That's how deadly this team is.
Walker is pretty much leads the team with 15 wins. Then it's Wheeler at 13. Nola with 12.
And you're like, oh, Nola ain't a good pitcher. He won you 12 games. Let's be honest there. He won you 12 games. But when you have your top 3 pitchers getting over 10 wins, that's elite stuff. That is elite stuff. And I know wins really don't matter, with
not in today's day.
The only way you get the recorded win is if you go over 6 innings. That's how you get a recorded win. If you're pitching well through 6 to 7 innings, that's when you get a win. How do you think Wainwright got his win? He went 7.
Yeah, and probably the worst way possible.
Worst way possible because,
he's
team
just
tough.
finally end his career. Well, I know that's kind of irrelevant, but the fact he wants to end his career on 200 wins because let's be real, the Cardinals, boy, you're talking.
He throws 200 and he goes, I'm done. I'm like, I feel you because that team's out of the playoffs, so you should. I mean,
it's honestly that for me that's like a meaningless 200 career victories.
For me, it's meaningful because he had such a great career. He wanted to get that milestone, and honestly, I was kind of pulling for him to get that milestone. Like, dude, you had the best season. You're pushing too hard.
And he's
relax for this one. Get that 200 and just stop playing at this point. It was, but
what's also crazy too when you really look at some of these numbers, Schwarber pretty much leads the team in walks.
Same guy, strikeout, random home run, strikeout.
Yeah,
again with this Schwarber. Again with this.
And he's the true 3 outcomes.
Bro, I hate this new system of ball, man. 3 true outcomes. You either hit a home run or you strike out. I hate that.
That's been around for years. It's not a new thing.
No, it hasn't. There's no way in hell it's been there for years. That's been there since the 2010s when they started doing analytical bullshit.
I mean,
that has not been there. That has not been there for damn years. You don't see. You didn't see a guy like Ryan Howard bat 200 in 06. That man was batting like what 400 that time. Like he was batting over 300 and hitting bombs. Look at Harper. He's a power hitter, but he's hitting over 300.
Average.
Because he cares about putting the ball in play and getting the team he does it the old-fashioned way. He puts the ball in play and gets hits and gets the run in. But no, Schwarber, it's all or nothing with him. And I'm sick of that.
Howard actually had 313. It was slashing 313, a 425 on base, which that still boggles my mind.
What is this? Harper or Howard?
This is Howard from 06.
Exactly.
313 batting average.
That's all I need to know. That is all I needed to know there. He hit 313 as a power hitter, and he hit 40-something bombs that year.
58
bombs. So, no, the 3 true outcome thing was not a thing. And that's the one rant I'm going to have is Schwarber and this new way of baseball where it's all or nothing with these power hitters. You hit a bomb or strike out.
Here's the funny thing.
I hate that so much.
Here's the funny thing. In 2009, Howard was stolen 8 bags, but he's only been caught once. I was like, boy.
All right, a big man who could barely run because he's big. He stole 8 bags. What were the players doing? Sleeping?
Apparently not. So when he broke into 2000, so this is basically what Howard's looked like in I would say up till 2010. Prior to 2010,
before the injury.
So 04, his rookie season was hitting 282 with a 333 on base, 564 slugging, 897 OPS, which is above average by today's standards. 05, slashing 288, improved or pretty much pretty much everything by a few points. Finished with a 923 OPS. 2006, that's where he went off in his third year, slashing 313,
Oh my God, that
425.
man was a dude. 2006, Ryan Howard was a tank.
659 slugging and a 1084 OPS. Now, obviously, 2007 kind of went down, came back down to earth a little bit. 268, which is not bad. Well, back then,
but that's fine.
Back
then, 268 was kind of meh, but that was still a fine season for him.
I mean, yeah, slashing 268, 392 on base, 584 slugging, 976 OPS. So the only time he has had an OPS under 800 was in 2012.
But that was after injury, and he was starting to really decline. He was going down fast. Like he was going down like the goddamn Titanic at that point.
Which is kind of crazy. He was a 5th round pick in 2001.
2001. I swore he was a 2000. Damn. Was that long ago he got drafted?
Yeah, 2001.
I thought he got drafted like 05 or some shit. Like, I didn't know that he was.
Well, looking at the team, looking at the team stats in terms of the certain players in 2006, Howard pretty much led the team in average, homers, RBIs, on base slugging, OPS. So yeah, most of the offensive categories belongs to Ryan Howard. Now,
like I said, Rob.
Basis, we know that belongs to Rollins. Utley is the team leader in runs scored that year, 131.
Utley, he was always getting on base. He was always getting on base back in
203 hits for Utley, 45 doubles for Rollins. Rollins led the team in triples with 9. Howard, unfortunately, led the team in strikeouts, but also led the team in walks.
Do you know what's astounding to me? All right, we got the stats though, and that's all you need to know is the core. Howard, Utley, Rollins. I can't believe that team in 06 missed the playoffs.
Yes, you'll be so yeah.
What? By today's standard, they'd be that third wild card spot. Let's be honest. They only had 2 wild card teams at then, but they would be that third wild card spot.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was 06 was the same year before we made that trip at Houston to get Brad Lynch. So we still had Michael Bourne on the roster.
Bro, Brad Lynch was freaking amazing for Philly.
Let's take a look. So this is what's the best of the MLB at. For those who don't, you can look back at the team's stats
from way back. I usually use that too.
07. Utley led the team in average at 332. Boy, talk.
Bro was good too, and he's also from personal experience. Utley is a stand-up human being. I will say that from personal experience.
A weird narrative around it, like he's a complete prick. Well, that's when he's on.
No, yeah, it was a weird narrative. Like I have to clear that air. Like it's a weird narrative that they're saying, "Oh, Utley was a complete prick in his day." Dude, I met the guy at a game. The guy's one of the nicest dudes that I've met. One of the nicest guys.
Who was your pick? Man, let's see.
And that was 2011 that I met him. So
2000s. Ooh. So that's got to be Brett Myers. So Brett Myers apparently led the team in ERA in 06 at 3.91, 12 wins, led the team. Struck out of hate.
Do you mean the guy that's a wannabe country singer now?
I mean, his stuff. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Michael. Yeah, Mike Lieber. I have not heard that name.
Mike Lieberthal? Mike Lieberthal?
No. Where's it? It's not John Lieber. That's who I'm thinking. That's who it was.
I was going to say Mike Lieberthal was like 03.
I mean, complete games. John Lieber had 2 complete games. Tom Flash Gordon. I completely forgot about him in the back end of the bullpen.
Tom Gordon.
Yeah, Tom Gordon. I think he
nice.
Said he had 39 save opportunities. Boy, he had the bulk of the save opportunities. 39 led the team. Then he had Rhodes with 7. Cormier. I don't know who the fuck that is. Jeff Gary, if I remember correctly, I remember him. Ryan Madsen.
Oh, love the Ryan Madsen in that rotation,
And
bro.
Clay Condry, boy, even though I liked him, but the dude always somehow get lit up. But in 07, I think from my this is great. Was it? Oh, but yeah, Hamill's and
Your Wi-Fi is ass.
that ain't me.
That wasn't me either because my Wi-Fi did not turn off on me. My Wi-Fi is usually fine. What the hell happened just now?
So pretty much in terms of the pitching wise in 07, yeah. Hamilton 2007 was just nuts.
Bro,
Led the team in ERA.
forget 07 with Hamels. Look at 08 with Hamels, man. Oh my god. That man went crazy. That man went crazy in 08.
ERA. Jamie freaking Moyer led the team in pitching wins.
Can I tell you something? About Jimmy Moyer? This guy was drafted in 88, I think. 1988. This is 2007.
This
man was in his 40s at this point. Like, well in his 40s at this point. He was like, what, 45, 46 at the time?
I think somewhere when during his time.
I mean, this man was drafted in the 80s. The 1980s, y'all.
And then make his debut.
Somehow comes to Philly in 2007 and has a great freaking season. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. He let the team in pitching wins. Hamels was
I know. I know. And you know what the funny thing is? You know what the funny thing is? Bro, you know what the funny thing is? He fooled them with the slowest freaking pitches. Dude, it's not even funny.
Major league hitters look like complete fucking amateurs.
He's basically lobbing it in there for you, and you're missing it.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing: back in 2008, Kyle Kendrick was the third on the team in wins with 11. Boy, had
bro, Kyle Kendrick in 2011 used to piss me off.
Dude, he always gets lit up.
Oh my god, him in 2011 pissed me off. Oh my god.
Yeah, was the seventh round pick back in 2003.
Question though, how the hell did we win the World Series with that guy in that rotation getting lit up the way he did?
He went.
How the hell we win a World Series with that guy?
So he went 11-9 in 08 with a 5.49 ERA and 30 games.
Yeah, he was shit. He was pretty bad, and he was just as bad as like in 2011 than he was in 08.
Yeah, pitched 155 2/3 innings, scattered 194 hits, gave up 103 runs, 95 of them earned, scattered 23 homers. As through, especially during the entire 2008 season, through over 2,000. That's all combined, all the games he's pitched. 2,620 total pitches. Struck out. This
is why when they bring up the 08 roster and that 08 championship team, Kyle Kendrick's name is never getting brought up.
And rightfully so. The dude stunk.
Never getting brought up. You want to know why? Because the guy freaking stunk.
And here's the crazy part. From 2012 to 2014, he actually increased the strikeouts. 2012 struck out 116. 2013 struck out 110. 2014 struck out 121.
But guess what? And from 2012 to 2014, was he with us? No.
Nope. Well, technically he was.
He was with another team. He got better on another team.
Well, actually, he was there. He was here from 07 to 14. By 2015, he walked to Colorado, and oh boy,
Colorado! Oh my god! I remember those days in Colorado.
7-13 with a 6.32 ERA, and then 2017.
He was even worse than he was with us in 08. What the fuck?
Guys, he finished his career with the Boston Red Sox, went 0-2 with a 12.96 ERA.
I remember when he went to the Red Sox, and I was just laughing my ass off because he went there. I'm like, y'all got a shit pitcher. I'm sorry.
2008. So this is basically with the offense or team leader in offense. The flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino led the team in the batting average. Howard, no surprise. Homers again, 48 with a .146 in the RBIs. Rollins was 47 stolen bases. Pretty much went off in terms of stolen bases. 3 on base belonged to Utley at 380. Howard slugging at 543. 915 OPS to Utley. Jeez. Utley was just an offensive machine.
Bro, freaking he can give you timely hitting. Even when he went to the Dodgers and his
Holy
career was
crap! He
kind of
actually could have stats going
in
all
like
the way back.
hold up, bro. But even after he went to the Dodgers, man, he had like a slight career resurgence a little bit because he could hit. So he was always a great hitter, man.
Uh,
And again, guys, let me reiterate. The rumor that you've been hearing for years that Utley's a douchebag. He is not. He's one of the nicest human beings you would ever meet.
so in terms,
I met him. Good
boy,
dude.
this is gonna be interesting.
Hmm.
So in 2008, so this is basically what, not just from the Philly side of things, but across the entire MLB team, the person who led the Major League Baseball in batting average, Chipper Jones, obviously Hall of Famer, Howard and homers,
Dude,
RBIs.
he was kind of like how Freddie was when he was in Atlanta and how he is like now. Like it was like I don't like Atlanta, but I can't help but like Chipper. That was the same thing with Freddie. I don't like the Atlanta Braves, but I can't help but like Freddie.
Willie
And the ironic part, they played in the same position. Like the fuck?
Well, technically, Chipper was the third baseman coming up through the Braves.
Oh, I thought he was the first. I thought he was the first.
He was a switch hitting third base.
Because I thought I read somewhere that Freddie replaced him.
No, that was
Am I thinking wrong?
No, who
the hell was that first then?
Oh crap!
I thought it was Chipper for a while because I thought he moved from third to first.
Freddie replaced, or obviously succeeded Chipper as the face of the franchise.
Oh, that's what that was. I got it wrong then. Yeah. So, but dude,
so
you couldn't help it.
Who the fuck was that?
Who?
Willie Tavares led the 2008 season.
Willie Tavares, dude. Willie Tavares was nice back in the day. I know who that is.
Yeah, 68 stolen bases.
Bro, he was nice. Willie Tavares.
Hanley Ramirez with 120. God,
Hanley was Hanley. Come on.
And obviously, second was Dustin Pedroia, which talk about another guy that's a big what if.
Bro, the problem, it saddens me with Pedroia because like what hit him was like a lot of injuries. It was just injury. I'm seeing reports every single time. Oh, Boston Red Sox player Dustin Pedroia out with an injury every single year. I'm like, dude,
like there's
what
always
the
the
heck
biggest
is up
what
with your
ifs
body?
in MLB history. Obviously, no surprise that Pujols led the league in slugging and OPS. Pujols slugging wise 653. Good freaking lord,
bro.
OPS 1.1. 1.115 OPS.
So that man was damn near perfect.
Boy,
holy shit.
Surprisingly enough, let's see, where was Pujols was fourth in the league in Major League Baseball in homers at 37. Because your top,
but let's get back on the beaten path here and talk about our team, bro. Our Phillies. Because do you think, because we only brought up the 08 roster, to this roster. Do you think they can do it with this roster this year?
It's a possibility.
I think it's possible. I think they can do it. I think the only problem that I really have though, man, is that bullpen. I don't know.
I don't think would say bullpens are going to be a problem. It's just like some of these guys are gassed. Like they're not. You need a couple days off here and there to get themselves right.
I think that's why they brought up
you got guys like Ryan Kirkery and using guys that we haven't used.
Yeah, that's why they had that September call up.
Can do it for us.
That's why they brought him up. Because Skipper was like, yeah, I kind of use these guys way too much.
I mean, right now it's well, I know we're sticking with the National League, but when you look at the American League, it's getting crazy for that third wild card spot.
You know what's also getting crazy? That AL West, I think. Is it the AL West? The AL West is getting a little bit crazy now.
Because now Texas has the same record as us, 88-69. Very nice.
Nice, nice. And I
Right
hope
now,
you never get any more losses because of that number.
but right now the
I'm
one
sorry.
team that
No,
is actually not,
that's just the juvenile delinquent in me just saying that. Sorry about that.
right now, I mean, as it stands, looks like in terms of the wild card, we're the first one to actually clinch the top wild card
Yeah,
spot before anybody else, which is
yeah, because for like the last two, for like I think it was like the last week and a half, we just constantly kept winning.
yeah. Speaking
Now,
with
now it's not like it was last year. We're like the final 2 week stretch. We were like really like treading water a bit.
yes, I
It was like it's getting a little bit dicey there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope they don't plummet,
and
and they
then I think
didn't.
the following game we started going on a hot stretch,
We went on a tear that final week. We
and right
didn't
now,
didn't clinch that last wild card spot last year
yeah,
until literally
because we had to
like
break the Marlins to fucking help us. It was that terrible. That was
it wasn't just no, we didn't have the Marlins to help us. We only had the Marlins to help us stay in that third spot. That was the only thing.
yeah,
But we clinched ourselves. It was a win in your in situation, and we beat the Astros the first game,
yep.
and then we let them beat us twice, and then we let them beat us again in the World Series. God damn it!
And speaking
Anyway,
of the Astros, they're barely hanging on onto that third wild card spot of the American League.
listen, man. I can't listen. I know they're barely hanging on, and I know like the Astros are finally on their downfall.
I
Honestly, I don't think they're on their downfall. I really don't think so. I
well,
think they'll still make a run in that AL, make the World Series.
well,
I still think that. Unless something miraculous happens and they're out first round. But
right
right now,
now, it's them and the Mariners tonight at 9:40 first pitch. This game could either a win by the Mariners puts them ahead of the Astros. Astros win, they stay a game ahead of the Mariners because right now so yeah, so
yeah, I know. Yeah, because it's the Mariners in third, Astros in second, and Texas in first. Which I didn't even think that they would climb back into first.
yeah,
I didn't think that would happen. I thought, and no one thought it was going to happen. Everybody thought, oh, the Astros are going to, heat up and they're going to take first place. And they did for a little bit. And then Texas started to heat up. They dropped down to second. I'm like, wow.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what happened there? And like, it, I don't know with this team. I don't like, I still expect them to win the entire AL and win that pennant. But I, I don't know at
the
this
way that
point,
the
man.
Astros have been playing in this past stretch of games, the
This
three
is why. This is exactly why I am not sure anymore about this team.
because
I don't
Houston
know.
in their last 10 games, they're 3-7 in their last 10 games.
I just don't know anymore. Like they're 3-7 last 10. They completely bottomed out of the or they didn't completely bottom out of the race, but they completely you had Texas of all teams completely steal the AL West from you.
Yeah, and
I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. And
all right,
I'm not saying as a wild card team, if they are a wild card team, that they are not going to make the World Series. Because look at last year, the Phillies were not even slated
we
to be in the
didn't
World Series,
we're running
and we
it,
completely shut down the entire competition. Broke the Cardinals in the process and the Padres in the process. But then again, the
yeah, the
Padres
Padres are
are heating
fucking
up.
ass now.
The Padres, but the Padres are starting to heat up. They're getting into that NL wild card race a little
They're
bit.
8-2 in their last 10 games.
They're starting to heat up.
And look at their stretch of games going forward. Well, make that's after because right now the series is split between them and the Giants, and then the last 3 games, the Armpit of Chicago.
White Sox,
Yep, that's the final 3 games of the year.
man. Here's what they got to do. They got to win this game, next series, and then go to that final series against the White Sox.
I know the White Sox are out of it, but here's what if you think it's going to be funny, could you imagine how bad it is when you even get swept by the by the White Sox and your team.
Bro, you know how bad it is for you to get swept by the damn Royals of all teams? Looking at you, Houston.
Like how does that even happen?
How does that even, dude? How do you let that happen to the
Like
Royals?
literally, there's a
And then,
huge
and
talent
then,
gap.
who did Seattle play the Pirates? If I think, and they got swept by them,
Let me check.
or they won, or they lost the game on a walk off with
No,
Carlos Santana doing the walk off.
no, they got swept by the Rangers and they got swept by freaking Oakland.
Oakland, a team who could barely crack 50 wins.
Yeah, game one.
Bro,
So this is the scoring in the Oakland series: 5-0 Oakland, 7-2, 6-3 A's.
what the hell? Seven? Oh my god, bro. Yo,
And they lost. I mean, obviously lost the series to Tampa Bay. Barely won the
man,
series.
all I gotta say is baseball's a funny sport
It's
sometimes.
a very fun sport.
It's a funny sport sometimes, bro. It is.
That's right too. I know. Yeah, and that's right. The Astros lost 2 out of 3 to the Oakland A's.
Exactly. So the A's took 2 out of 3, but that was the thing. That was like a little trend they had. It was like they were losing the first 2 games of the series and they won the third. Then the next series they won 2 out. They lost 2 games and they won the third. And
So
then
already,
the series after that, they lost all 3. Like
now,
what?
so far this year, we only had 3 100 lost teams. 2 of them are the most obvious, and that's the Kansas City Royals, who now are 54 and 103. Oakland's 48 and 109, and then the Colorado Rockies 57 and 100.
Good thing. The Chiefs are good because Kansas City's in hell when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, they haven't really been this. Like I said, I think after 2015, they have not really been the same.
2015 after 2015, they completely bottomed out.
And it sucked, man. I mean, you had Eric Hosmer, who hasn't really been the same ever since he left. Yeah, Alex Gordon retire.
Salvador Perez is starting
he's
to
still there.
Salvador Perez. He hasn't been that great either lately.
He's been okay, but hey, he hasn't really been what he once was. And that's the
He
crazy
wasn't
part.
He wasn't the 2015 Sal Perez that I know. That's the thing. Sal Perez in 2015 was freaking crazy, bro.
Yeah, which is crazy. Looking at their,
but
still got.
But again, we still got 5 games of the season to play.
Yeah, so we got
that AL West. I'm really
unpredictable.
keeping an eye on that. I'm really keeping an eye on the AL West.
Right now, the only 2 teams that have not clinched their division is Texas and Baltimore. You would think Baltimore would at least clinch at this point.
I would have thought they clinched already.
That's what I thought. They're 98 and 59. What was the? Was it?
Who's the team behind them? What the hell?
They're 7-3 last 10 games on a 3-game winning streak. Now, yeah,
watch them clinch the division on the final day. Watch that happen. The final day they'll clinch.
Because looking at the division standings, they are 2.5 up on the Rays.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those seasons where that division itself is going to be
for the top spot.
It's not that, Rob. Not that. Let me finish. It's going to be decided on the final day.
Yeah,
it's going to be decided on that final day.
Well, Boston is the last and final series for the Boston or the Baltimore Orioles. It's a 4-game set at home.
Honestly, the way the Boston Red Sox have been up and down all season, and for them to miss the playoffs, I think it's time for them to play spoiler.
Boy, you know that
if they want to do it, if they're gonna, if the Orioles really want to win this division, they're going to have to beat the brakes off of Boston, because Boston's out there to play spoiler at this point.
Yeah, and when this is the first time that they play. No, I'm wrong. Because here's the thing: this season, they've won the series against Boston in early April, and this is the second time they played them this year.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to really like play hard because late in the season, a lot of the bad teams they play hard just to play spoiler.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Boston's a bad team, but for them missing the playoffs, they are considered bad in a sense.
I mean, they're 5 games under 500.
Well, they are bad then. They are bad, but honestly, I don't even think they're bad. I think they're just mediocre. But they're going to be playing spoiler at this point. Oh, we're pissed off. You missed the playoffs, and we're going to make you miss the playoffs. That's what they're going to try to do. So,
Or not come
so if
at,
the
or
if the Orioles want to actually take this division, you got to beat the brakes off of Boston.
I mean, you should. I mean, the Baltimore should, because right now, I haven't really had to see this good of an Orioles team since 2014.
Yeah,
And
I think that was the last time they made the playoffs was like 2014, 2015, one of those years.
yeah, when the action, which is crazy beyond belief.
But dude, they had a stacked roster. They also had Machado of all players.
Machado, when Chris Davis can actually hit a freaking
Chris
baseball.
Davis actually tried to hit.
And after that,
And then 2015 he goes 0 for freaking whatever the hell, big ass number. He goes 0 for like the first like 50 something games.
it's like, oh,
How the hell do you go 0 for that long? You got to hit at least something in that time frame. It's hard to not hit if it's like that long of a stretch.
2014. Yeah, you still had Adam Jones. You still had God. I forgot about Nelson Cruz played for. I forgot Nelson Cruz had a there.
Nelson Cruz did. Yeah, he had that random stint with the Orioles back in 2014. Yeah,
scope it. I completely forgot he played for had a stop with Baltimore.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot that too. I didn't know Jonathan
Hardy.
Scope was.
Oof.
Huh?
JJ Hardy.
JJ Hardy was underrated. To be honest,
bro, a guy that should have more All-Star appearances. Nick Markakis. The fact he only gets one before he retires is like, what the fuck was that all about?
How does Markakis only have one All-Star appearance?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
How does Markakis have one All-Star appearance? What the hell?
Throughout his entire career in the regular season, he has a career. He has a 288 career batting average, 189 career home runs, 66 career stolen bases, 1,046 career RBIs.
Those are numbers that a multi-time All-Star makes. Why is he only a one-time All-Star?
Yeah,
I don't get that. I don't get that at all, man. I don't.
Jack Flaherty? I think that might be Jack Flaherty. Oh, Ryan Flaherty. I don't know who the fuck that was.
No, Jack Flaherty's younger, bro.
Matt Wieters, I remember him.
Matt Wieters, yes, I knew him. I remember him too.
Yeah, Christian Walker, boy. It sucks. It sucks to be an Orioles fan when you had to have guys like Jake Arrieta come through your system, gets traded to Chicago, with a fucking Cy Young in a World Series, and you got to say what,
bro. We had, what's even worse than that? We literally had Travis d'Arnaud, dude.
Yeah.
In our system. Traded him to the Braves. He lights it up for Roy Halladay. Like, I know I like Roy Halladay, but let's be honest though, after 2010, 2011, he wasn't the same guy that he was because of injury. We could have kept d'Arnaud, man.
Yeah.
And built him up to be that next guy up, they would have still been a good team regardless if we had Halladay or not.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Here's some other ones in terms of the rotation. Chris Tillman. I completely forgot about Chris Tillman. Wei-Yin Chen. I know he always gets lit up from what I remember during his time in Miami.
Bro.
Zach Britton at his prime years when he was.
Zach Britton was nice in 2014, bro.
After that, kind of fell off ever since then.
Yeah, he fell off a cliff since. Huh?
That stinks.
Yeah.
Miguel Gonzalez. I don't remember him.
I don't Kevin
Gausman.
Gausman played for that team?
For Baltimore, yeah. That was the first team he played for.
Yeah.
And I actually had some better seasons. Obaldo Jimenez. Boy, that was That was something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, his Baltimore run kind of stunk. 2014,
Yeah.
6-9, 4.81 ERA. 2015, 12-10 with a 4.11 ERA. 2016 went 8-12 with a 5.44 ERA. 2017, which is last year in the league, 6-11 with a 6.81 ERA.
He started seeing he was getting worse and worse. Nah, I'm retiring. I'm out of here.
So there's
I'm out of here.
his prime years with
Oh,
Colorado
Colorado.
had a 3.52 ERA in his rookie year. Second season, 4-4 with a 4.28. Went 12-12 in 2008, which, by the way, for those who don't remember, that was the last time Colorado actually, or it was going to be a while, and then Colorado was actually, and yeah, so courtesy of us, we kind of hand them an ass whooping. So in 2008, the postseason, so that was great.
Some
But
country
yeah,
style ass whooping. That's what we gave him.
but yeah, Jimenez went 12-12 with a 3.99 ERA. 2009, 15-12 with a 3.47. 2010 was probably his best year, with a 2.88 ERA with a 19-8 record, and and then also gets traded to Cleveland. Went 4-4 with a 5.10 ERA, and I completely forgot about his stop in Cleveland.
But yeah, back to current day though. Back to current day. The two divisions or the one division that I'm really looking forward to is that AL West. I'm not really, and also I'm looking forward to that division the Orioles are in. I forgot what division that was.
AL East.
Yeah, East. Yeah. It's basically a two-team race between the Rays and the Orioles. So we'll see how that goes in the last week following. I'll be keeping an eye on them via MLB TV. Shout out Rob for giving me the info for that. Because I don't have that anymore because my brother didn't pay for it because he saw it's too much. And I agree with that. $100-something for one. Nah, man. Nah. But so Rob hooked me up for that so I can like see this
keep
playoff.
An eye on it.
Keep an eye on it, and as podcasters, and YouTube showrunners, and as sports fans, like we're keeping an eye on this exciting baseball race going on.
We're going to see some teams that you may not expect to make the postseason,
like Texas.
The
Orioles. The Orioles, you kind of expected them to do what they're doing right now. Like you kind of expected.
It took. Let's be real. The thing with Baltimore, and I know it took them a while, but look at that farm set. And who knows? We might see Jackson Holiday, that kid's just fucking right. That's unfair. You have a 19-year-old kid who's already killing the triple, all of the minor league levels, and soon to be knocking on the door.
This man started in single A in the beginning of the season. He is now in triple A.
Yeah.
In September. The same season.
This is why the Baltimore Orioles really enjoy their farm system. Because it's
you kind of aren't, you can't be shocked by that because of who his father is.
Yeah, and obviously, let's be real, Matt Holliday, even during his playing days, I think he was still criminally underrated for what. He was not like a super flashy player, but he was just one of those players he's kind of like an impact player, if that makes sense. Especially if you're in the postseason when you really needed it the most. Matt Holliday's that kind of guy, that really. And we saw as much, and trust me, like between 2006 and from 06 to 11 during the Cardinals, I legitimately hated the Cardinals because it's like I think most
2011. That was when I started loathing the Cardinals.
And unfortunately, it was our downfall for the last team. I appreciate that, Steve. It's so shout out to our boy Steve and stuff like that. But shout out to everyone.
Shout out Steve, man. Shout out Steve.
Man, it's going to get very interesting from here on out because
and RQ, that's a very interesting tidbit. If the Rangers win and the Mariners beat the Astros, Rangers could clinch the division tomorrow.
So yeah,
Magic numbers 3 right now, and could end up as 1 by tonight. So it could go from 3 to 1.
And here's what the crazy part is with the Texas Rangers. God, what was it? 2011?
It was either
We saw Rod
wait,
Washington, a prime Adrian
yeah, it was
Beltre.
2011 because I remember. I remember because 2011 they completely blew the damn series, the World Series, because they had to win in the bag. There, I think they were up
Yeah,
three to
back then
two
there was no
or three to
such thing
three
as
or
a
whatever.
universal DH. Holy crap, Nelson Cruz is terrible as a defender.
But dude, that whole entire the series was in the bag, and they blew it in 2011. Like,
Yeah,
they were up, and then they tied it. The Cardinals tied it, and then the Rangers were up again, and then they just blew the lead. Like, what the
yeah.
like you
And
had
what's
the series won. I think it was Game 7,
I
if I
think
remember
so.
correctly. It was a Game 7, and you had the
Actually, no,
game.
sorry. David Freese forced the game 7, probably the most iconic moment.
Yeah, it was David. Yes. That's completely right. David Freese forced the Game 7.
And
And Game 7, the Rangers were up twice, and they blew it twice to lose it.
yeah, and
I'm
don't
like,
get me wrong.
how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, and back then everyone pretty much hated the Cardinals because they just kept winning.
Bro, they were basically the reason why people hate what's a team now that people hate
What, Houston?
for winning championships?
I mean, Houston one that kind of really comes to mind because I want to say I almost said Yankees, but first of all, the Yankees have not really been most.
I'm talking about currently. I'm not talking about like
currently.
Yeah, currently, right now.
Oh crap!
Who's the? I'm trying to find a sports analogy to where it's like, oh, it's kind of like this team.
Oh, if you talk about football terms, it's the New England Patriots.
No. I'm talking about currently, right now, as we speak, current day, 2023.
I have no freaking clue because that remains to be seen. Because we.
Oh, it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
I could say the Chiefs, but they haven't won like championships consistently though.
Yeah, it's
They won 2 in like a span of like 3 years.
Well, and that's the thing too. Before their second Super Bowl run, it was a span of 50 years, which was
No,
yeah.
I know, but I'm talking about currently. It's like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They won 2 in like 3 years. So I can't really tell it. I can't really say it's the Cardinals.
That's freaking hard. Because like there's always there's no consistent.
Right now, there's nothing consistent. So I'm honestly gonna span a little bit like from like
you gotta clarify
from like 2014. Not clarify it. I'm gonna expand my thing past 2023
because I cannot.
Kind of like the Warriors, man. They were kind of like the Warriors.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
Yeah,
because remember, 2014.
I could have thought of
from 2014. But dude, how is that the last team you would ever think of? From 2014 to 2020, this team was loathed. They're still loathed
to an extent. Not as much anymore.
Not as much anymore because of they're not winning championships. People preyed on their downfall, and the downfall's there. But from 2014 to 2020, they were hated. The Warriors were hated. That was the same thing that we felt with the Cardinals in 2011.
Yeah, because he had a load of frickin' team with a prime. Yeah, still Yachty in his prime. Pujols, David Freese was still criminally underrated. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
And you know what? I think last year I'm gonna call it karma because they broke us in the playoffs
and
in 2011.
We broke them on their home turf.
We broke them 10 years later.
But
like we broke each other in a span of like 10 years.
Honestly, here's the thing. I was not expecting. Look, I think I was expecting a slight regression with the Cardinals, but not to this extent. Boy, they
not like damn 60 something wins.
First of all, I was like, this team could be at least 80 to 85 at least. I mean, it's not like a slight.
I think if I remember correctly, before the season, I said they'd probably win 83. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, you did say that, and
They didn't even get close to 83. What are you talking about?
Because it's like, yeah,
dude, they were like 20 games shy of 80.
Hey, there was a lot of. It just seems like a lot of things went wrong. You had Yachty hasn't really been what he once was. You can see some of the age catching up to their original core with Yachty, Pujols. Even though I think Pujols should. And Meantime said this before once in the past. Pujols should never leave St. Louis. Ever since he came back, boy, he went
the
all
Angels.
offensive.
Dude, the Angels broke him, man. He was broken. He was a broken man with the Angels.
And obviously,
you can tell. And the thing is, you could tell that he did not want to leave St. Louis, but he left because of the money was better. He wanted to stay in. He really did want to stay in St. Louis.
Dude's a St. Louis icon. When you really look at the end of the day.
And let's be real though. Him with the Angels, he was just cashing a check.
Yeah,
that's why he wasn't hitting the ball, and when he did hit the ball, he wasn't running as fast.
Yeah.
He comes back to St. Louis. He's hitting the ball. He's running faster than ever.
Even though he's not really known for speed.
He's not known for speed, but he's running faster than ever. Like back in the day, he looked like 2011 Pujols out there, breaking half the time. And it was great to see. It was great to see that resurgence. And then we came to that conclusion that the Angels broke it.
Yeah.
Right after that series,
And now we're seeing it with some other guys that the Angels brought in are just money chasing, and they can't even get their shit right. Rendon is one of them.
No, the problem with Rendon, I don't think he's money chasing. I feel like the problem with him is that he can't stay on the damn field. He can't stay there.
And same thing with Trout. Trout can't stay on the field either.
For me, the two teams that I can't they had part of it with the Angels is mixed in. There is money chasers out there. They aren't playing as hard because they got the bags. They don't need to try.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're mixed in with what the Yankees issue is.
Yeah.
A lot of health issues on the field. A lot of guys who can't stay on the field.
I mean, look, not really. And it's not just that, and you get incompetent front office personnel and the management. It's
that management, dude. That management in LA with the Angels makes me want to vomit. That's how bad it is.
And you got to feel bad for the Angels fans too. It's like they constantly sit through this crap. The last 15. It's been well over a decade now, or God damn, it's been
honestly, I'm not even going to count 2012 as a breakup. Okay, they made the playoffs, so we're not going to count that year. They've been rebuilding for 2 decades.
Yeah, and had a couple one postseason appearance in Trout's rookie year in 2014. Gets swept in probably the most embarrassing fashion.
It was very fluky because they get swept and then they missed the playoffs for the latter half of that decade.
Almost not. It's almost a decade going into the next year. So Angels fans,
they've really been rebuilding, dude. But dude, they've been rebuilding for basically longer than we were.
Yeah, which is
because I'm not going to count that year as a break. I'm not going to break those 2 years up. Oh, they finished the rebuild in 2012. They didn't. They really didn't.
No,
because they had that fluky season and then they were back to rebuilding again. But
and had that fluky 2014 where you had a guy named Mike Trout in his rookie season. Somehow win your division by.
Honestly, I don't even think it was. I don't think it was was it 2014 or 2012?
It was 2014.
All right, 2014. 2014 was fluky. 2014 was fluky then. That was
exactly.
The but that's the thing. You had that fluke year, but the rest of that decade and the decade before, right after 2002, you were rebuilding. And it's just been bad for 2 decades for this team.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy the fact that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, Angels, Angels fans, they were not going to sit almost through a decade of misery. We feel your pain. We've been through. We feel your pain.
Well, not really, because we don't have an incompetent owner.
Well,
we just had shit GMs.
Well,
That was the
mean
only issue.
Let me clarify what I mean by that. Like, it's not making the postseason for over a decade. We know that pain.
No, for us, it wasn't over a decade. It was a decade. That was the thing.
Almost
They've
9.
we don't know their pain because they've been rebuilding for longer than we were. Yes,
Yeah.
our rebuild was long. It was a decade long, but at least we had a competent owner to say, you know what, look, we're done.
Well, it's not just that. And I even harped on Milton and said, look, you got to spend money. Stop being so freaking cheap. And here we go. Like, started in 2018. We gave Harper 13 for 330. And probably the most craziest all season because the biggest two names was Machado and Harper. And obviously, you got the right guy.
Man, I remember yelling and screaming when we got Harper. 2019.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly how that went, Dad. We got fucking Harper. Now we got fucking Harper.
And Harper.
Now it's all cocky now. Now it's cocky. And we got fucking Harper.
And what's crazy about that is the fact that he said it's going to be the second year into the postseason.
And also, shout out Dad for the cameo.
I mean, and then also and then obviously this past year you had Trey Turner, which as much as I liked it because I know because for me I never really thought Stott was a shortstop by I think he was kind of really not really
a he was more of like a second base.
Yeah, he was more like an Utley type for me in terms of his style.
And guess what? He's playing like Utley.
Yeah, I mean he's already leads the team in stolen bases with 31.
He's the successor. We found our Utley successor in Stott.
And yeah, it's kind of hard to really believe. It's like, yeah, once you look, Chooch, I think we did kind of find a successor or traded for his successor in JT, which I didn't expect we were going to do that anyways.
Wait, what'd you say?
But I mean, we have Utley's successor, with as with Bryson Stott. I mean, because we went through so many different guys. I mean, look, Gene Segura for a while. I really liked him for a bit. He was more like a rental piece for a little bit. But
let's be real. He was only here for like a few years. He was a rental piece.
But yeah, I mean, we had Stott going forward, probably for the years to come. Now, third base, I think one can make an argument. It's going to be, I mean, the only thing, because, our third baseman after Mike Schmidt hasn't really been the greatest in terms, but Bohm still, I think Bohm still had a solid season nonetheless. Victorino, I guess you could probably make the argument for Marsh. It's Marsh / a platoon of Marsh and Rojas.
Now, I have a question for you, Rob. When was the last time Bohm had an error? Because it's like after that three error performance, I've barely even seen him commit an error.
I mean, he'll barely, but he'll have a rare error here and there, but not as what he once had that 3-hour game. Which, boy, talking about the most having your harsh criticism on yourself, basically tell you the cameras picked up. Literally,
he goes, I freaking hate this place. And then the cameras caught him saying it. And then he had to explain himself like, yo, I am sorry. I was just mad.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy.
At myself for that.
In terms of the skill position wise, he's the only one that gets hated because we haven't really had a solid third baseman in quite some time.
Dude.
I mean, think about it.
The two guys that actually woke up after, after a standing ovation was Bohm and Turner.
Turner was something else. It's
Turner after the
hey, he said in one interview. He said, "Look, I suck." Just by paraphrasing,
I suck.
I say, I'm the one. He was after that terrible Marlins win or loss in extra innings. And he even said himself, I caught that error. I cost our team a victory
because I sucked there. I should have played that ball better. But here's the thing, right? it was like after that standing ovation for Turner this season, it was like every single game he's setting a bomb. Every
But
game.
it's not just a homer, or like, he's constantly getting on base, regardless of the outcome.
But it felt like every single game he's setting a bomb. It was like, he did it again. He did it again. It was like 5 days worth of, he did it again.
Because I was thinking that, man, I'm really hoping that walking curse that Nick Castellanos horrible coincidence.
Oh my god, dude! Every single time, dude. I swear, every single time that man hits a bomb, I'm checking the news.
Yeah, so,
because he has this curse. He has this curse. I think it was 2014 was when this curse started. He was with the Reds.
Yep. And ever since then,
he always hits a bomb when something bad happens in the world.
No matter if it's someone dropping having
someone dropping an N bomb in the commentator's booth,
and that was terrible. Woo!
Immediately after that, he hits a bomb. The apology midway through the apology, he hits a bomb,
and you can hear the broadcast like, and it's gone,
and it's a 4-0 game. Like
literally the most
in a moment of apology, you stop and say, and it's a 4-0 game. Like,
but yeah, it's and. And that's what I think too. Like even Nick, and what's kind of crazy, not so crazy, but it's kind of nice to see when Turner was struggling. I mean, look, even Nick had some more. Said, look, I know better than anybody. Look, I'm in my head. I was in my head for most of last year. Boy, having to. I kind of
and I knew that was the case, to be honest,
because it's like. Because I think this is an interesting quote that from Nick when he said it. It's like, yeah, because once you get like a big contract, what Turner got, what are you going to do with it? Like, you don't know what to do with it. Like, you kind of get blinded a little bit.
And not just the contract. Look at the cities that they were in. Dodgers, I don't know if they're really hard on their players, the fans.
I mean, Turner had some really good couple of years with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he did. But I'm talking about the fans though. Like, I don't know if the fans themselves are hard on their players.
No, it's always from here on the East Coast.
It's always on the major markets in the East Coast.
It's
Boston, the Mets, Philly, New York. Like, they're hard on their players because
Boston is a little bit harder on the players too, if I'm not mistaken too. But I could be wrong.
The three major cities in the East Coast. They're hard on their players.
Yeah, that's
the only one on the East Coast I don't think is like that hard on their players is Atlanta, and possibly Miami.
Well, Atlanta, I don't think there's really no expectation because they know the kind of good teams they pump out each and every year. So there's
and with the Marlins, they're consistently bad for like a while.
Yeah. And I kind of feel bad. You gotta feel bad for the fans. It's like they're trying.
After a while, it's like I don't even care if they're rivals. I feel bad because they keep consistently missing.
This year, I thought that it's like there because he got something there. Like the last couple of years with the Marlins, they may not have the positive result, but you could see what they have. Sandy Alcantara, unfortunately, jeez.
Yeah, he probably had a pretty good season, but back to what the topic at hand, though, like the whole Trey Turner thing, the whole whole Trey Turner
breaking news.
Oh God, what is it?
Damian Lillard's going to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wow!
Are you kidding me?
The Bucks?
The Milwaukee Bucks?
Oh my God, they're going to be the new team that people are going to hate. God damn it!
Him and Giannis. Oh hell nah.
Yep. I'm calling it right now. Bucks finals.
And honestly, but then again, good for Dame to finally get out of Portland because
good job. Portland was a dumpster fire. Inside of a dumpster fire. That was the thing.
Dame is still a talented player. Look, he's still he's still a top 5 player. What is he at 32, 33?
Yeah, and when he calls
done nothing for him.
And Rob, when he calls for Dame time, it's over. It's over at that point.
Sorry. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Was it the Thunder? It was the Thunder. Oh boy, that was
when he shot that game-winning 3 from like 20 feet back.
Not been the same ever since.
Oh, they've been scratching their head and trying to figure out what to do at that point after that.
You know what? I do want to see a matchup between the Denver Nuggets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Give me that.
And honestly, I think the Nuggets probably will be better. I feel like they will be better
Yeah, I'm
because
not going to be surprised.
like look at last year. Look at last year. They had a complete team. Let's be honest.
Because the thing is, the biggest question surrounding the Nuggets, like, can Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray can no? It was Michael.
And guess what happened? They
still
answered
stayed
that
healthy.
question. And that's the question. That's the question that was answered last year.
And I forgot there's another big storyline. Can really Jokic carry this team on his back?
He can. He can.
But with Michael Porter Jr.
And
being healthy,
I'm a Sixers fan, so I hate saying this. He should have won over Embiid last year. MVP.
Yeah.
He should have won over Embiid because Embiid, after he won MVP, he stopped trying.
Because
this man, Joker,
he defines what MVP is. He's a living embodiment of an MVP.
He's MVP. He's valuable to his team. Embiid, I don't think he is.
No, because
when it comes to playoff time, he chokes.
And that's the thing, is it's not just that too. Like, and Embiid bitches and moans and complains a lot too. It's like
he bitches and moans. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like, dude,
it's kind of ironic.
Like, dude, when I didn't get MVP.
Honestly,
we're in the playoffs.
And that's the thing
too. We're in the damn playoffs. Play hard. Get that.
And you are
finals
right.
MVP.
When, like I said, because there was one time he had to carry because Porter Jr. couldn't.
And he did. And he did, though. He got him to the conference finals that year.
Yeah.
He carried. But he has the ability to do that.
And that's
why that's what we're saying. He's got a complete team now. Like, you have Jamal Murray.
If you have stay healthy. I can't see why not Denver could be a dynasty, because right now
they're 2-peat this year.
That's really what's relevant, and I really hate to say that's the only team that's relevant in the city of Denver.
You look at that, dude. You look at that roster on paper. You are seeing 2-peat.
Who knows what other players that Denver might bring in?
You're seeing a repeat.
I can believe that.
I can believe that too. But I feel like with the addition of Damian Lillard, though, because he broke this news just 2 minutes ago, Damian Lillard is going to the Bucks. He has left Portland, thank God, because he was not happy in Portland.
So it was a 3-team. So according to Woj, this was a 3-team deal. So shout out to Key, actually shared a screenshot of this. So Lillard goes to Milwaukee as a 3-team deal with Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, and a 2029 unprotected Milwaukee first and unprotected Milwaukee swap rights in 2028 and 2030 to the Blazers. And Phoenix will land Jusuf Nurkic. Boy, that dude's fucking injury prone as shit. Grayson Allen, oh my God, as a college basketball fan, fucking hated his guts because dude was fucking dirty. Nasir Little and Keon Johnson.
Yeah, the pieces that Portland's getting back, they're in rebuild mode. They're in rebuild mode for sure.
I mean, we already knew where that Portland team is headed.
Yeah, they're headed down.
And I even said this too, and this is why I've always even back then because I've always had respect for the Nuggets, because the fact he had 41 other picks ahead of Jokic, let's be real, probably the best valuable gem I've seen in, let's say, the last span of 5 to 10 years, and seeing what Jokic can do.
Yeah.
And no matter, like, even the postseason when he's hitting like ridiculous threes, I was like, Jesus, I was like, how's that even possible?
Bro, let me tell you something that I like about Jokic. When he's locked in, he's locked in.
Like,
there's no way of stopping him at that point. No way of stopping him. He will body you in the paint. He will shoot threes. He will kill you defensively. Like, it's just he's a different breed. Jokic. He is a different breed.
And for me, he's a humble player, which, let's bro,
he is.
We don't see any new players.
He goes, I don't care about winning this championship. I want to go horse racing. Okay.
Horse race. And that's the thing too. And Steve actually brought up a comment at one point. I think one of our contents, like the one thing, or somebody we talked about is let's say if Jokic wins.
The funniest thing he said, right? He goes, "Yo, I don't care about this championship. I want to just go home and sleep." I go, I feel.
I was
that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
but and that's the thing too. What I also like about Jokic, like he actually wears his wedding ring on his shoe. Like he has it literally tied onto his shoes.
Well, he ain't gonna lose the ring. He ain't gonna lose the ring. Good, that's a good husband right there.
And honestly, man, it's
Gonna lose
like,
that ring.
but hey, it's obviously good for Denver to actually have well, I would say not the only relevant team. I think Colorado, the Avalanche, I think you're gonna go back to the winning ways. And that's not really saying much because you have two teams in different sports actually are willing to win championships. Well, then you got the Broncos and the Rockies. That's besides the point. Oh boy.
One word about the two things, or one thing about the Broncos. 70 piece.
A 70, it's like a 70 piece. It's like, give me like a large fucking soda.
70 piece. Large. It was kind of like two number 45s, 45 large, number 6 extra jip type of deal.
And for those who don't know the reference, you're probably too young for that reference.
Yeah, you're too young for the reference. But
all you gotta do is follow the trade, CJ.
All you had to, dude. I hated hearing that. I'm like, shut up, Nixville. I was trying to follow the damn train.
And that's that's the thing too. I've always seen that's the thing. Him and Michael Porter were the only two guys I wanted to see was begging to stay healthy. Because look, I like Jokic, but there's some things that you can't really put a lot too much on Jokic's shoulders. You need that supporting cast, and which it showed.
I love that duo of Jokic and Jamal.
Talk about having Stan Kroenke having a valuable sports franchises. With the Colorado Avalanche win a couple Stanley Cups, then you had Denver winning something, and then it has a couple esports leagues. Like, what the dude's got built up a valuable portfolio of sports teams.
But guess what? You know what? If he owns an esport league, gamer nerds and nerds in general are still winning in today, and I'm happy about that.
Yep.
I'm happy about that. Nerds are winning, bro. Shout out to the nerds, man.
So in terms with Milwaukee, so their big four is Damian Lillard, Giannis, Bobby Portis, and Chris Middleton. That's their big four, Milwaukee. Yes.
I am nervous. If we have to play them in the playoffs, we are screwed. Hey, we're screwed anyway because the team don't even try.
The Miami fans, they got to deal with them. They're in the same conference. They're in the same division as Miami.
Oh God, I feel bad for Jimmy Butler and that team. Oh hell.
But yeah. Other than that, though,
Jimmy Butler's going to be complaining about gas prices and losing in the playoffs.
I saw that.
Oh gosh.
Damn. God, him. Well, we all been complaining about gas prices.
Everybody complains about that.
Like I said, all in all, before we get up out of here, good for the Portland to really to get to the rebuild because let's be real, Nurkic, for those who watch him play, Duke can't stay on the court for like at least for a while. Yeah. Like whatever injury he has, like keeps him out for like say about 5 games or whatever the crap it's going with. And Dame,
but before, let's get off of basketball here. But before we go, let's go back to the topic that we were originally talking about before the basketball thing came into effect. The Phillies are in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And we're happy about it. That was a celebratory stream for the Phillies. We got a little bit of out of hand there because Key broke the news of
no, it's funny
Dame going to Milwaukee. So
yeah, no, actually, it was funny enough. I got alerted by my sleeper fantasy app because I also get my.
NBA Key gave you just the details of the trade.
Key showed the screenshot of the details.
We have the same app, and none of that popped up on my phone.
Well, we probably don't.
I even had ESPN, and it didn't even break the news on me. Like, dude,
I'm pretty sure you don't have the notifications on for them.
Oh wait, I don't have notifications on for anything. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. That's my problem. I screwed myself. Yeah, RQ, Dame to Milwaukee. It is Dame time over in Wisconsin. But yeah, the Phillies are in the playoffs. We'll be keeping an eye on that AL West and also the AL East because it's a 2-man race there.
And also the rest of the rest of the NL wild card and how that's going to shape out because
Yep, and also
it's
all the getting pretty heated up. It's heating up, man.
Right now. If you're going to ask us like who has the better wild card, I had to say the National League. The National League wild card's been nothing but a dogfight.
Oh
It's
my
like
God, you have
like one team's topping, then another team's falling. It's like flip flop,
and
flip
then
flop.
and then you have the Padres of all team with the slow start. They're sneaking in there.
That's like damn.
Like it's like, geez, that NL wild card is just like
it's chaotic.
Dude, I'm telling you this right now. The NL wild card race is just exciting.
It really is. And look, no disrespect to the American League. It's just I think the National League just have just let's real it.
I feel like the AL wild card is a lot weaker because they don't have like 5 teams competing for it like the NL does.
No, it's like your standard 3. Like it's like Tampa Bay each and every year. Maybe Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is definitely going to take the division. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of in the AL. It's kind of meh. Like, I mean, you expected those teams to be in it, but
obviously next, so obviously there is no. Let's say Wednesday.
My cousin sent a message on the group chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's see. Right now, I think it's still up in the air. So right now, next week, for the All-Star Sports Show, we'll definitely talk more, on the rest of the wild card.
And we're definitely gonna go even more in depth on the Dame trade.
Yeah.
With that, but
all in all, we're definitely gonna keep an eye on a lot of these games because honestly, I don't know if I'm feeling AEW Dynamite tonight, so I'm just probably gonna binge.
You're gonna call it off.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but AEW Dynamite is just like man nowadays. I haven't really been watching it, to be honest.
It's been boring.
It's been really boring. I hate to say it, and also, I haven't really been into it.
It sucks.
It's terrible now. It's like WWE is heating up and AEW is going down again.
Honestly, I think we should just scrap Dynamite.
Might have to. Might.
Yeah. But yes, sir, Jose. We are back to back.
Back to back seasons, brother. Back to back seasons.
But all in all, if you guys do, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring the notification bell so you guys.
Now I get it. The Blazers are expected to immediately engage whatever the heck. Contending teams on trade talks. Wait, no, this is a different thing. Dude, the Blazers are trying to trade Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
For the quality guy for Inside Reports, Woj from ESPN.
Yep.
Quality dude. Quality reporter, insider. Honestly, I think he's better than Schefter in sports.
I don't know about that.
Because Schefter reported that bullcrap. Schefter reported on the Tom Brady thing, which ended up being bullcrap for a year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I mean, like, I don't really trust Schefter anymore. I really don't trust Schefter. I trust Rhodes more. Rappaport's way better. Rappaport's way better.
Baseball, oh boy, you can go many different ways. John Heyman's not one of them because the fact he jumped the gun so freaking bad. I forgot. Oh boy, that was nothing but a memeable moment. Arson Judge from John Heyman jumped the fucking gun on that.
Arson Judge?
Yeah, trust me, I'm not kidding you,
bro. That is the worst.
This for this past off season.
That is the worst spelling mistake ever in the history of spelling mistakes.
Okay, but he's much of a boob, anyways. In terms of the
boob,
but that's what most of the MLB community calls him. He's a kind of a boob. Like he just he tweets or I say reports things that it makes you question.
I like that dude from ESPN, Jeff Passan or whatever.
Jeff Passan, boy.
Trust
me, when you know when a bomb drops, you know he's the first one on it.
He's like the Woj of baseball.
I mean, look at 2019. the biggest bomb he dropped in the MLB community was us getting Harper for 13 years.
Yep.
But hey, so yeah, so it's gonna be interesting for next week. So obviously, we got nothing off for Friday. It's obviously you're gonna see a couple of shows. Obviously, the All Star Sports Show and another edition of Friday Night SmackDown. For October 6th, because obviously, like I said, Friday the 29th, I got nothing. Well, there's nothing right now scheduled because
but
started
again, guys, it's just like a wrestling card. Next week may change. This week, it's set in stone. This week it's set in stone, but next week it may change because he has a job, and he also has like rotating schedules.
Well, I don't know exactly what the schedule's going to be looking like. As now, going to be working with the school district, so I'll keep Tyler updated on that.
So right now he's on like a week by week basis of what the schedule is going to be. So card may subject to change.
Yeah. So that being said, everybody, appreciate everyone who's hung out with us for the last hour and a half. And with that being said, have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon.
And go Phils. Peace.
Yes.